Welcome to my channel Srinivasa Biology Tutorials. For this section to discuss NCERT Class 12, the chapter Microbes in Human Welfare. Part 3, Microbes in Sewage Treatment. Microbes in Sewage Treatment. You know the large quantities of wastewater to generated every day in cities and towns. Mostly the microbes also we are using as in that sewage treatment process. The major components this wastewater is human extract. So human extract here, that is this municipal wastewater is called as a sewage. The total the town cities to release any wastage we call as what, that is any municipal water we call as any sewage. Now these contain large amount of organic matter and microbes. They contain as what, the entire the some organisms, viruses, bacteria, number of is there here. Major which is any pathogenic, have you ever wondered where there is a huge quantity of sewage or urban wastewater is disposed of daily? So here we are the complete that enter the sewage where they are pathogenic, means there's a number of disease they are causing. So here how do they are completely they are purified our daily? This cannot be digested into as in a natural water bodies like rivers, streams directly. You can understand why. If in case they are enter the sewage to directly to get transfer into as in a rivers or streams, then what happen? They get causes as in a that enter the pollution is takes place. They causes a number of diseases to as in a human beings. Correct? Yeah. Before the disposal, the hence the sewage that treat with as sewage treatment plants, that is called as an STPs. So before the transfer, the total sewage they participate, they do as an they are purified, means with they do as in that sewage treatment. Then to make as in the less the polluting, the treatment of wastewater is done by the process sewage treatment. Here, when you are using as a number of microbes, then what happen? The heterotrophic microbes are naturally present in the sewage. This treatment carried out by as in a two process. So we are using as in some microbes to get used. They can easily they get purified. Okay, there followed as a two steps. The first one is primary sewage treatment. First, that is primary sewage treatment. This treatment step basically involve the physical removal of that particles, large and small, from sewage through as an filtration and sedimentation process. So the first in this process, the large particles and their complete their debris to get removed. They get to remove into as any another step. So that for the physical removal of the particles large and small in the sewage. That is the first process is called as what, primary sewage treatment. This removal of stage, initially their floating debris is removed by as in that sequential filtration. So this is one sequence, means step by step they are completed to get removed. Then the grit, means soil small, their pebbles are removed by as in a sedimentation process. So here in this process, then what happened to get removal of the filtration, their removal of any their mostly the floating the debris, everything is after to remove, then what happened to remove by as a sedimentation process only. Next, all solids are settled from the in a primary sludge. So the remaining all things they are settled here. The remaining they are completely they are settled here. Okay, that is we call as a primary sludge, where they settle this total region we call as an that is primary sludge. That is primary sludge. Next, and their supernatant forms their effluent from the primary setting tank taken into the second treatment. So the primary effluent forms they get completely they are taken into as in a secondary treatment. Secondary treatment. Let's see that what happened that secondary treatment. Here, secondary treatment, or it is also called as a biological treatment. Second treatment, another name is what? Biological treatment. The primary effluent is passed into as in a large aeration tanks, where it is in a the constantly they agitated mechanically or air pumped into it. So when the large tanks, when they get transferred in that in a secondary treatment process, we get allow into as an the constantly aggregated mechanically air pumped into it that allow any various growth of useful their aerobic microbes into the flux. So here to get allow into as any the number of bacteria microbes they get add here, and the anaerobic microbes into as in a flux, then what happened, they get completely rotated, and then mass of the bacteria associated with as in a fungal, their filaments which form as in a completely mesh-like structures are formed. They get when the flux will be get rotated here, when that flux are completely to get rotated, what happened to get forms as in slurries they get formed. While growing, microbes constitute the major part of this organic matter. This is effluent. So they complete when they get formed as an organic matter, they get forms in this organic matter. Already they having is what some aerobic bacteria is present, right? Here some bacteria is present. That aerobic bacteria means the a part of the knee, some microbic aerobic bacteria here they reduced as any biological oxygen demand. They completely obtain effluent. So here aerobic bacteria to get completed to get forms as what BOD, biological oxygen demand. Here biological oxygen demand refers to as an amount of the oxygen that is would they consumed if the any organic matter in that in a liter of 1 liter of water, whereas oxidized in the bacteria. So here each 1 liter of in this they completely oxidized in this bacteria. Next, the sewage water is treated till as an BOD is reduced. So then what happened? Oxygen levels will completely decrease. CO2 level will be there increase. Here, the BOD test is measured the rate of uptake oxygen by microorganisms, the sample of water, and thus their indirectly their biological oxygen demand measured as an organic matter present in the water. So present of the water and then biological oxygen demand that enter the measurement based on we get they're completely they're measured as any that pathogenic condition. This greater the biological BOD of wastewater, more is in a polluting potential. So when the greater biological wastewater will be there present, then what happen? More it is in a polluting, the potential will be to get forms. Next, here the ones of the in a biological one of the BOD of sewage or wastewater is reduced significantly. When that in completely the wastage will be get completely their takes done, then what happened? That effluent is as in passed into as in setting tanks. After the total remaining, they get transferred as in another setting tank. Whereas the bacteria flux, they're allowed as in sedimented. So here some again the bacteria flux are they get allowed. Then what happened? The sediments we call as an activated sludge. Now this sedimented, this total sedimented we call as what? In a activated sludge. And small part of the activated sludge pump into as in a back into as an aeration tank to the serve as an inoculation. To get back, get transferred to get form as what? It forms as an inoculum. It is in a back pump. It is in a bank into as an aeration tank. Here, the remaining the major part of the sludge is pumped into as in large tanks is called as in a anaerobic sludge digesters. It is called as what? Anaerobic sludge digesters. Next, hence other kind of the bacteria which grow in anaerobically digest the bacteria and fungi to digest it. So here the number of bacteria and fungus to get digested as any remaining under their pathogenic conditions. Yes. Next, during this digestion, the bacteria produce as their mixture of gases such as in methane. So here when the biological oxygen demand takes place, then what happened to get released as that carbon dioxide and methane gases, like as that contains what hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, these all things, correct? This gas we form as a biogas which can used as a source of energy as it is in a get inflammable. So in this biogas we are using as an source of in a energy. Next, the effluent form as in a secondary treatment plant that generally the related into as in a natural water bodies like as in a rivers and streams, and the aerial view of such as in a that plant show as in figure 8.7. So here some the reverse the streams, the aeration tank, how do they get work, they given as in that diagram. Next, you can appreciate how the microbes play major role in the treating the millions of gallons of wastewater every day across in a globe. So here number of microbes, how do they get working, how do they get completely they're purifying that entire the wastages. Now once imagine this methodology has been there participated more than the century now than almost all parts of the world. So the maximum all parts of the world is everyone they everything they're doing this one only this kind of their practices means this kind of things they do, and they get controlled as in this polluting. Till date no man made their technology has been they're able to their revive the microbial treatment of sewage. So, till now no, the human made this entire thing is not there. Only we are using as a microbes based on we can easily to get purify as any enter polluting water. You are aware that due to as any increasing the urbanization, sewage is produced in much large quantities in the every ever before. So every time it is not, it is continuous. They're going only. It is not for the decrease. It is increase. It is only increasing in the sewage process. However, the number of sewage treatment plants has not increased enough the treat such as in a large quantities. Here, the number of sewage treatment plants has not increased even though large quantities. Only few only they are present. So in that in untreated sewage is often discharged directly into rivers lead to as in that pollution and increase in water borne diseases. So without any purified can transfer into as in directly into as in rivers and stream, then what happened there causes the number of diseases. Yes, no? So that purpose the Ministry of Environment and the force that foresters has their initiated the Ganga Action Plan and Yamuna Action Plan to save this major the river of our country from pollution. See, Ganga Action Plan as well as Yamuna Action Plan, it is there take caring about as any this protection of any this pollution. Okay, and here under these plans the proposed to build the large number of the sewage treatment plants so that only the treated sewage may be there discharged into the rivers. After these total plants, they're first they're searching, they're seeing for they're doing process or good or not. Then only they're discharged into as in rivers and streams. Visit the sewage treatment plant situated as in any the place near you would very they're interesting and indicating the experience. If in case nearby you they have any the sewage plants are there, once you visit and you see that any get as in some information. Remaining we discuss in next class. Thank you for watching. Please share, like and subscribe.